Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Granite Construction Night at Evergreen Speedway, and here on your Home Track Heroes program on Seattle 11 once again. Welcome in. Sunday night is for race cars. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff. Derek, Sunday is for race cars, and we got a good show coming up today with a lot of variety on it.
Sunday is for race cars, especially sprint cars in this case. That's the sort of cornerstone of what we've got for you tonight, but also Super Stock, Figure 8, Street Stocks, Youth Hornets, and Mini Stocks.
Back-to-back weeks of sprint cars, as this will be week one. We're going to have another sprint car-based show for you next weekend, so we'll just wet your whistle tonight. We'll start getting the preview in. We're even going to wet your whistle for some main events later on in the program, because we're going to start off with heat race action here on the night.
Yeah, not too often we get to take a peek into those early races. Of course, we race for points in heat races here at Evergreen Speedway, not for positioning. Sometimes there are exceptions to that, but as a general rule.
Well, let's send it down track side again. It doesn't matter. Well, it kind of does matter. This is for points, but it is not for main event positioning. So kick back, relax, and enjoy as we roll out the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 heat race for them. Up first, Jessica Wilkinson, JE55, is on the front row, along with Bill Fleischacker. Wilkinson sponsors Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning. Fleischacker, the V36 from Duval, the Papa's Bar in Monroe sponsored car.
The Siskiyou Power Equipment number 43 out of Darrington is Sheridan Vincent, alongside the McCarthy General Contractor 17X out of Stanwood, Rick Yargis.
Row number 3, Jeff Talbert out of Arlington. Pilchuck Heating sponsors that car. And the 98 of Aaron Flett out of Tacoma. Kent Collision Center, the sponsor on it.
The iconic Mary's Towing number 5 out of Aberdeen is the one-armed bandit Quentin Borison, rounding out our field of 7.
So 7 cars, they're going for 8 laps, and these are for season points in what is a fun battle in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 division. So all these drivers are going to be gunning for top spot, but it has no bearing on the start for the main event that we'll see coming up later on. Fleischacker versus Wilkinson down the front row, and we're green.
Both these cars, known to be pretty durable tanks, have led this field many a time, fended with the best of the best. Fleischacker out to the early lead. Wilkinson here in second, fending off a charge coming from Rick Yargis. All you see in the background, the 5 made his way past the 98, working on the 72, now to the 43.
So, Yargis, you'll note that the front of that car looking a little bit different than it did at the front of the at the beginning of the season. He used to have the full, I'm going to say almost full street stock look, where it had a full composite nose across the top front of it and more. Well, Ricky Dietz got a hold of that car, as did Richard Jones, and they took 60 pounds off the front end of that thing just by taking not just that nose piece but some other stuff off the front of it. And you can see the 17's peppy and alive. He's going to have to hold off Borison, but good run for Yargis in second place right now.
Borison in the number 5 made his way forwards, flying through the field pretty quickly, now fending with the 17X, putting the pressure on Yargis. Side-by-side battle between the blue 5 and the red, white, and blue 17X, while Fleischacker taking this opportunity to get away. We are halfway home.
You want to know the other reason that they took the nose, or at least the nose cover, the front bumper cover off that car away from it? Makes the car longer. It hangs your nose out there further in the intersection, so it's an extra thing that can be clipped or hit while you're out on the racetrack. Shortening the car up gives you less strike zone on it.
Yeah, in a game of milliseconds like Figure 8 racing, you certainly don't want to have the longest car in the field. Took a trip out to the Indianapolis Speedrome. You see the battle for the lead starting to heat up as, whoa, Fleischacker locked up into the left-hander. And that was certainly an issue there. You saw some of the longer cars have some closer action in the intersection. Really makes it a little more risky as contact between Fleischacker and the 5. Around goes Fleischacker to the lead. Goes the 5 of Borison.
Bill fires it back up, and we are waiting to see if call will be made. Yes, indeed. There's the black flag on Borison. So Fleischacker, who just checked up for the intersection, that's going to hand the lead to Yargis. As he comes to a checker flag, this should be first heat race win in the Superstock Figure 8s for Rick, if he can hang on for just another second.
I do believe so. Making his way through the left-hand corner, holding off Sheridan Vincent. There is the checkered, and that's a race win for Rick Yargis.
Well, congratulations to him. Nice run there for Rick. Meanwhile, let's move forward. We were just talking about the street stock looking cars. Let's throw the actual street stock cars on the track for our first look at the 3/8 mile. as this is going to be an 8-lap heat race with 5 cars for the Tire Pros Street Stocks. Pole sitter for this one's Kenny Erickson. He is out of Tulalip, sponsored by Central Welding. And next to him, 27 Jerry Helm out of Green Bank, sponsored by Tiger Construction.
The Millburg 69 out of Monroe was Austin Camp. Alongside the Tire Pros, the shop of Arlington's Snohomish native, the 3 is Jesse Jensen.
And behind them, Lake Stevens driver, it's the team car to the 69. It's 96 Tyler Hill out of Lake Stevens. It's the Ad Taxi sponsored car. So 5 cars, going to go 8 laps once again. There is absolutely no bearing on tonight's A main event for the finish of this heat race. However, pride is on the line and season points on the line in another points battle that is by no means decided or any of that.
Not at all, as the number 69 has been making his way up through the point standings. It's so far been mostly Potasic in the 06 and Jensen, who you see there, in the 3. We'll see if that dominance continues into this one, and if the chrome and red can make it to the first place spot. Out of turn number 4, coming to the green flag, and we're underway with 8 laps.
Bottom groove, dominant groove on the start as give the jump to Kenny Erickson. Camp at the 69 is second. There's Jensen in the 3 car in third, quickly shooting to the bottom of the racetrack on Camp and looking to shuffle him back to third place.
Yeah, you see the 3 working that low side. You saw how well the inside groove worked for Camp on the start. Looks like it's going to work just as well for the driver of the 3. Jensen up into second, already threatening for the first place spot. Bumper right to the rear of Erickson. No contact, but you still see Erickson get a little loose on the exit of 4.
Erickson really squaring that corner off and trying to keep that bottom defended as you see Jensen loop around the middle, take a run at the top. Let's see if he can dive bomb the bottom. It'll actually be Erickson dive bombing the low side. Jesse can keep his foot in the throttle, roll through the middle groove. He'll make the bid for the lead on the outside going into turn number 1.
It's a bold move. It's a risky strategy as well for the 3, up in that middle groove in between the 2 dotted white lines through 1 and 2. Off the corner with that run, gonna finally clear the 22, maybe not quite, into turn number 3.
Looks like he's got the advantage. We'll see what happens when they come to the line, and yes sir, advantage is there. Jensen's got the lead, and not a bunch of laps left to go in this one, as it's Jensen, Erickson, Camp, and then Jerry Helm having a pretty good race in the 4th spot in car number 27.
Yeah, 3 making the way out of the corner. See how 2nd through 4th starting to bunch up together. Could see some action there. It's a point per position in these ones. And each point can be very, very valuable.
Our program today brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, as is always on Home Track Heroes, showing you a little bit of heat race action before we get into the main events tonight, as we have got just 2 laps to go. This is the race for second between the 22 Kenny Erickson and the 69 of Austin Camp, with the 27 of Jerry Helm hanging out in position number 4 and looking for opportunity to maybe sneak around your 2nd or 3rd place cars.
Well, they make their way out of 4. Jensen will already have taken it. They will see the white flag with 1 more trip around the 3/8. Last opportunity for Camp or Helm to make some kind of move, for Erickson to hold on to the 2nd place spot, as Jesse Jensen seems to have just driven away with this one.
Yeah, not even in your pick. Okay, there he is. We literally had to jump all the way to a whole new camera to get him into the screen. So Jensen will take the W. Rest of the field remains unchanged, as we have got 1 more heat race coming up. Here's your preview edition for what we're looking at and coming up in tonight's main event, as the Granite Sprint cars onto the racetrack for their 8-lap heat race. And on the pole of this one, it'll be Chloe Hudson in the 8H out of Post Falls, Idaho, sponsored by Speed Mart. Greg Middendorf in the 4 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Middendorf Motorsports.
The Austin Electric number 15 out of Arlington, Jacob Austin. Start alongside the Fleet Service 44 out of Linwood, Todd Coleman.
The 3rd row, the Bean and Brew on 532, number 19K, Kyle Secord out of Camano Island. And Tony Offit's the 8A from Portland, Oregon, sponsored by Upland Excavating. Final starter, that is the veteran Marty Rossler. Rossler in the 79 out of Burien. He's got his name on some t-shirts here around the Pacific Northwest. So there's your 7 cars.
Brand new car for him.
Indeed. Not necessarily new car, but different car owner with the Rossler engine in it. So Marty plunked the motor and plunked it into the different ownership package, and we'll see how that thing ends up for him.
Hudson and Middendorf, your front row. Austin and Coleman certainly in pounce position, should it become necessary. through turn number 3, working their way nice and slow, keeping it all close together. Out of turn number 4, they will see the green, and we are underway.
It's a good mix of drivers that we're familiar with and some new names, new places coming out here. Middendorf, that's a guy who's led a lot of laps in a sprint car right over here in Speedway. Jumps out to the early lead. Middendorf 1. And Jake Austin sitting in position number 2. Drags to the bottom of the racetrack, rolling forward. Todd Coleman in the 3rd spot in the 44.
Yeah, Middendorf, Austin, Coleman right now. Coleman, the winner at the top of the season, early on, taking home a victory.
For these drivers, man, especially considering that their race will go off last in the program. It'll be deep, dark at night. The track will be in its coolest condition of the day. You're really just out here testing and tuning right now. Again, these are season points, yes, but right now, okay, I'm going to try something a little bit different with my shock. This is a good time to go give it a run and see what ends up happening, as nothing as far as your air pressures or track temperature conditions are going to translate across to later on in this program.
Yeah, you just want to feel out the car, make sure it's good to go, ready for the 30-lapper at the end of the night. With Austin, you see, starting to close in on Middendorf, perhaps threaten for that first place spot with 3 to go.
Austin looking really strong sitting in 2nd place right now. See if he can make the move on Middendorf. Of course, later on tonight, he will have an abundance of more laps to do that with, as right now we're just down to 2 to go. They go awfully quick when you're clipping off laps as fast as the sprint cars run.
Your top 3 right now continuing to pull away from the field. They will see the white when they make it back. Greg Middendorf, one more trip around the 3/8.
Todd Coleman closing in on the battle in 1st and 2nd, as well as that whole field just contracting up quite nicely. They'll roll down the back straightaway for the final time. Austin thought about the middle for a second, didn't push her any extra hard, and will follow Middendorf to the line, who will take the win over Austin and Coleman. So that'll do it. Our previews are done. The heat races are all finished, finito, Dunsky, whatever you want to call them. As let's move forward. First up on the program for main events is going to be the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets. Been a fun class of cars this year, and they're coming up first to roll around on the 5th mile around the inside of the racetrack. Your field will look like this. Lila Mashburn's your pole sitter, the 31 out of Marysville, the General Car Wash car. And the 65 is Bryson Wingfield out of Monroe, sponsored by Papa Tony Hill.
The Resch Printing 35J out of Maltby's Hawk Jenkins. The car's custom auto repair specialist. Out of Bellevue, the number 11 is Keegan Mooney.
Road number 3 is our most recent feature winner, the DL Enterprises 23 of Alexis Tubbs out of Monroe. And next to Alexis, the 01 of Tanner Bjornson out of Arlington, the Misfit Motorsports car.
The Odell Homes number 41 out of Monroe is Jackson Golden. Alongside the Weatherite Roofing number 32 out of Snohomish, Sawyer Holden.
So we will go 8 cars, again, around the 5th mile oval here for however many laps they end up going. Bjornson has been the dominant car in the division. He is outside row number 3. Tubbs picked up her first feature win the last time the Youth Hornets were here on Home Track Heroes. So we have got green flag action underway. Lila Mashburn in the 31, Bryson Wingfield the 65, and he gets some... got some gangster lean in there on the turn number 1 on Wingfield. He had to float up the racetrack a little ways.
Just about everyone having contact, flying around the speedway right now. Contact between 35J and the 01. The 11 tagged as well, but that's not going to affect Mooney. He's going to go to the lead. Mashburn, Tubbs, and Jenkins all involved there with some more contact into turn number 1.
Yeah, Hawk Jenkins is literally hitting everything that moves here so far.
Oh, and there goes the 65 and the 41. Golden and Wingfield involved in that one.
Well, let's take a look and see what happens, as it was a very physical first few laps in this 20-lap A main event. Oh, yeah, they're going to try to go 3 wide where 3 wide doesn't belong. We'll come back. More of the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornet main event coming up next here on Home Track Heroes. Welcome back here to Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. He's Derek Todoroff. I am Caleb Hart, and we are just 1 lap into the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornet A main event. We'll have a single file restart coming up here with 19 to go. Our program brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Derek, as we take the green flag, the Youth Hornets back up and at it.
Yeah, quite notably, because the caution was not brought out by Mashburn despite spinning in that incident in turn 1. Lap number 2, Mashburn regains the position. Is now Jenkins side by side with Bjornsson. Mooney trying to find a way through on the inside of Mashburn.
There's Keegan Mooney making the bid to the bottom, and Mooney ahead of Lila will make the pass, with Bjornsson following him through, and Bjornsson sticking a nose down in on the low side as well, looking to advance once again. These drivers are Youth Hornet Division. No points on the year. No season championship at all. 12 to 14-year-olds out there rolling around the racetrack. Kind of makes the division exactly what we intended to be, an entry, get your feet wet kind of class.
Oh, you just see the 35J of Hawk Jenkins, the shot to the back of Alexis Tubbs. We've seen quite a few different drivers come up through this one, ranging from drivers like Haley Constance, who go on to race Prolates, to drivers like Devin Jenkins or Riley Riddell, who are currently running Stingerades.
Right into the point where the logical move up when you turn 14 is to start running the Hornet Division, which you see a bunch of them do that right away. But like you said, a couple others of them will go straight into a bigger car or a more complex division of racing, like Stingers, etc.
Yeah, and some drivers do find success in that Hornet division. I'd point out Diesel Snyder, former driver in the Youth Hornet class, recently got his first win as a PRCBD Hornet.
Feature winner on the season as well.
Yep.
So, well done by him. We're watching a pretty good battle for your lead here. Bjornsson, Tanner version, chasing around Keegan Mooney. Mooney doing a good job holding off the lead. And typically this year, when we've seen Tanner Bjornsson get to second, doesn't take too long for him to get to first, but Mooney doing a really excellent job of holding his line and fending him off while approaching slower traffic.
Yeah, Mooney's number 10 continuing to hold on. Golden going to be the car that goes a lap down. Third right now belongs to Alexis Tubbs. You see the 35J of Hawk Jenkins on the hunt as well as we ride along with Keegan Mooney.
All right, so we'll get the in-car from Mooney as he traverses our track here at Evergreen Speedway. Tubbs will make her way around the slower traffic, and wow, look at Keegan. That is just very easy steering wheel work. Back to straight, back to almost a fixed position in and through the corners. Keegan doing a very good job of keeping his hands calm and running the same lap, a very similar time in and time across. That is excellent to see that Mooney has got the 11 car under control here today.
Yes, he seems to have it figured out. You can see very simple footwork he's going with here. Down, got that nice camera view to see that. Just the brake and the gas, surprisingly. No use of the clutch. You can see that third pedal sitting a little bit to his left.
Well, if they found gearing that they like, found tire sizing that they like that works for the race gear that they're going to run in, no need to shift back and forth. It's one less thing for the driver to have to worry about over the course of the race. He can just hammer down and focus on where he wants to point the nose of the race car.
Yeah, left side of your screen, we got Sawyer Holden battling it out with Hawk Jenkins. Both of them coming from racing families. Hawk's father, a former just figure 8 driver. I think he ran both Super Stocks and Outlaws. I'm trying to remember if it was one specific one.
Well, lots of Jenkinses in the figure 8 divisions now, specifically the Stinger 8 classes. There goes Holden, whose family has raced a whole bunch of different kind of cars, and Hawk love tap to the back of Holden. That'll open up the bottom going into turn number 1, see if you can drive back through it as we flash back to your lead.
Yeah, Mike Holden actually has a win this year in the Legend class.
His
on the road course.
Uncle, Jeff Holden, is a TA2 champion out there for the road course enthusiasts out and around. As we watch Sawyer Holden in the green car and Jenkins taking a very fast right-hand turn off into the 5/8. Meanwhile, this is for your lead. Keegan Mooney and Tanner Bjornsson, 3 to go. Good race here for Mooney, who's just a little ways away from completing it and taking the big trophy.
You gotta wonder, is it full defense mode right now if you're Mooney, or are you just focused on running your race and hoping that the 01 doesn't affect that?
Well, you're down to 2 laps left. Bjornsson closed pretty significantly the last time around. We'll roll into turn number 3. Here's the white flag. Bjornsson literally threw the car into the corner. It got half sideways. It's right there on the back of Mooney. This is for the win. Not a whole lot left to go. Mooney and Bjornsson down the back straightaway.
Bjornsson might have to send it in deep in order to get something out of it. Not going to work out. At turn number 4, Keegan Mooney crosses the line. Race winner is the number 11.
Bjornsson will settle for second. Tubbs will take third. And let's go talk to him on the podium.
Alexis coming in third here in the first race tonight at Evergreen Speedway. Again, we talked about this earlier. How was the race for you tonight?
It was crazy. There was a lot of commotion, especially at the beginning.
Oh gosh, yes, especially at the beginning. How long have you been racing?
This is only my 6th race.
Only her 6th race. Wow, congratulations. Alexis coming in third tonight. Congratulations. All right, Tanner, who are your sponsors for your car here tonight?
Well, I gotta thank my mom, my dad, my grandma.
You got to do that first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Wyside Steel, Stilly Auto Parts, Bees Fab and Tuning, Olympic Embroidery, and everyone that came out here today to watch, and my YouTube channel, Misfit Motorsports.
Oh, hey, how about that? I mean, we're all doing channels these days, aren't we? I got to ask you, was there a little Dukes of Hazzard influence in that car paint job there? Is that you or is that the parents?
That's all me.
That's all him. That's what I'm talking about. Give it up for Tanner in second place here tonight. Keegan, you had a great race. You had some great heat races here tonight. Talk about how the car was driving.
Oh, the car was amazing all day. After the last 3 races, we were expecting something horrible to happen today, and I'm very glad it didn't. It's been a while since we've gotten a win, and it's honestly infuriation. Just dedication is what led me to this win.
I love the business in the front and the party in the back. I love that hairstyle. How long have you been racing here at the Speedway?
This is my only 2nd year.
Give it up for 2nd year and youth winner tonight, Keegan.
Well, big congratulations to Keegan Mooney getting the win in the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets. Let's take those Youth Hornets and let's upsize them a little bit. It's mini stock time. Add some, I don't know, technology improvements to your suspension and some more horsepower, and holy cow, 9 views of mini stock action as we're here on Pace Laps. Pole sitters Randy Ditmars, the ATR Andrews Truck Repair 61 from Snohomish. Austin Kramer, the 14, Northwest Security and Sound out of Snohomish as well.
J2 Racing Parts riding along the J21, the Monroe native Justin Brave. Alongside him, the Edwards K&S Construction 33 out of Lake Stevens, Ryan Hausenflock.
3rd row inside, it's the 18 of Paisley Bender from Snohomish. Strideline Socks, the sponsor there. And the 12th of Gavin Ballou from Marysville, sponsored by Absher Build LLC.
Row 4, both Tire Pros of Arlington cars. On the inside, the 81 of Bobby Fisher out of Lake Stevens. On the outside, the Snohomish native, the 18J Jackson Beckel.
Row number 5, it is Travis Woodward in the 16 from Lake Stevens, the Brava Pizza and Snohomish car. And Jimmy Absher in the 26 from Marysville, NPM Welding and Fabrication.
The PRCBD.com 221 out of Everett Lyndon Smith, the United States Seafood Federal Way native, the 72 of Ronnie Absher. That's your field. They come out of turn number 4, and they see the green. We're underway.
Sure looks like a darn near full invert here tonight for the mini stocks. They're going to go side by side. Ditmars and Kramer. It's Ditmars down low as Ryan Hausenfluck going all the way up to where the expensive liquor lives. Up and around he goes to the top shelf, and your new leader on lap number 1 is Ryan.
Ryan was your top left view there. We're going to come back into our single box. Still 3 wide, this time for 3rd. Ditmars and Ballou going up the track. Beckel taking advantage and will slot into 3rd. Making the move for 2nd now on the inside of Kramer.
Taking a look, this is Ballou's first week back after injury, so Gavin jumping into the race car, trying to roll his way around the outside and secure that spot in the top 5, but it's going to be Absher in the 26 working the bottom. Now he's up on the back of Kramer, and Absher, I think it was shot out of a cannon right by the 14 of Kramer. He'll move into the top 3 and go on the hunt for 2nd and 1st.
Yeah, you saw Ronnie Absher, unfortunately, on the backstretch pulling into the pit area. But Jimmy, for now, going to take advantage. Sitting here in 3rd, sizing up the points leader coming into the 9th, the 18J of Jackson Beckel. They're both pursuing the 2022 Evergreen Speedway Hornet champion of Ryan Hausenflock.
What a great rookie season it's been for Jackson Beckel here in the BECU mini stocks, as he has been up there in competition for race wins every night this year. Beckel shoots to the inside of Ryan Hausenfluck. He's got a lane on him. Can Hausenfluck hold him off? Beckel low. Ryan's going to have it barely at the line and going to try to bring Absher through on the bottom, as it looks like we're going to have a lead change down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Jackson Beckel goes to the lead, at least for now. We see Ryan goes all the way to the top, almost to the dirt, down the backstretch. Jimmy Absher working that low side against the 33 out of the corner. It is Beckel, Absher, and Hausenfluck.
Battle for the lead is on now, as Absher right up on the back of Beckel and looking for room to get by him. Jimmy Absher fast, darts down to the bottom of the racetrack, threads the needle through in turn number 3, and Absher will take the lead over just 7 laps into this.
Absher, Beckel, House, your top 3 right now. If you see riding along with Lyndon Smith, the right side of your screen, Bobby Fischer, Travis Woodward, and Lyndon all coming to threaten for your top 3.
Wow, there's Woodward to the inside of Fischer, trying to take advantage. That's a good battle a little bit further back in the field for position, as fast guys are coming. There is no mercy being shown between them. Woodward down to the bottom. Fischer up in the middle groove and give the spot to Woodward, at least for now, as they come up on Hausenfluck to try to put him a lap down.
Ooh, Smith put the nose in there on the inside of the 81. I think Bobby Fischer thought he had a clear low lane. Not the case. It's Lyndon Smith going to make it 3 wide here in the battle for 4th.
That we have seen drivers on the bottom and the middle lose out in this scenario a couple of times. This time it ends up working out nicely for Lyndon Smith, who moves by incident free, and now Fischer can drop that car down an extra groove and try to clear Hausenfluck for the spot. He will do so going into turn number 1.
Defending mini stock champion now chasing down his runner-up, as Woodward running 3rd, Smith in 4th. All while it is Bobby Fischer and Ryan Hausenfluck, 2 former Hornet drivers, running 5 and 6.
This segment on Home Track Heroes brought to you by Boeing Employee Credit Union, BECU. Boeing Employee Credit Union believes in people over profit. BECU, altogether different. BECU, proud sponsor of the mini stock class.
You see how much the 221 is reeled in the 16. It was a duel between the 2 of them all through last year. Now Smith just keeping the bumper right there, waiting for an opportunity, any sort of slip up to try and make a move against Woodward.
Woodward, ever the consummate professional, rarely gives up the bottom of the racetrack without a dogfight. So he's forcing Smith to use up every inch of this racetrack and looking for space in and around him. So far, the underneath portion of that, there's been no room down low. Trying to bait Smith and try to go in around the outside, and when he does, see if Woodward can add a little bit of space between the 2.
You see Smith still looking low. They've reeled in Jackson Beckel's 18J, but you see at the edge of the shot on the right side, Jimmy Absher is pulling away from him.
Jimmy Absher doing good work today in the 26 car. There is Smith, another run down low on Woodward. Woodward this time couldn't get the car low enough. Lyndon Smith got to shuffle up and forward, another position in the 221.
And we are at the halfway mark right there, 15 down, 15 to go. Smith now chasing down his teammate, the 18J, as Randy Dittmers, the 61, the car currently being lapped, is, oh, smoke coming out of the 221.
Oh, bad timing. It always runs best before it breaks, and that may just be what happened on Lyndon Smith.
That's the left front tire appears to have broken. There's sparks coming off of it. I don't think that's any sort of engine failure. I think that's a mechanical failure.
I mean, could very easily be a number of different things going on there. So Smith gets off racetrack. We've got 17 to go, and Jimmy Absher is hunting for win number 1 here on the year in the BECU mini stocks. And boy, there is no one close to him to even put that in doubt at the moment. Look how far back your next closest car is.
Yeah, there's a lapped car between Beckel and Absher. Woodward, the 3rd place car right now, then Fischer, then Hausenfluck. But look at the dominance we've seen from this 22 car today. It's been an up and down season for Jimmy Absher. Full transparency for the driver, the number 26. So you know he's feeling good right now, but taking nothing for granted out front.
Yeah, looking awfully good. He's listening. He's hearing every little rattle of every bolt at this point in time going, did I nut and bolt check that? Is it torque spec right? I hope it sure is. As there's the race. That is Jackson Beckel clearing teammate Paisley Bender, who is a lap down. He'll get up around to do so. We'll see if he can make any progress here on the 26 Jimmy Absher, but Absher just, again, with nobody in front of him, this has been clean air the whole time, just putting better laps together the further this race goes.
and that's going to be a hard one. We saw how Beckel had fallen off from the back of the 26. Might have come under fire from Smith had Smith been able to stay on the track. Woodward seems to now be closing that gap to possibly threaten for second, but he might not have enough time, as when they make it back to the line, it'll be 8 to go.
Jimmy Absher just quicker than a hiccup here on Home Track Heroes as you watch Jackson Beckel just put good lap after good lap together. There's Woodward in the third spot, hoping for something to happen. You want to talk about your pros, your consummate professionals. Watch how Woodward attacks this racetrack, low through the corners, picking up the apex, high on the straightaways, and up to the flag stand.
Longtime veteran of mini stock competition over the years here at Evergreen Speedway. Woodward knows this track very well. He's chasing down someone who might not as well know it. Jackson Beckel, a Stinger 8 champion, a 3-year Stinger 8 veteran, currently running away from Woodward.
Doing a good job is Jackson Beckel. The guy doing the best job, though, Jimmy Absher, out in front on the left side of your screen. In the time that I've been around Evergreen Speedway, I don't remember Jimmy grabbing a mini stock win. Do you?
I think I've seen it a couple of times before in that number 26.
Not recently,
Not
though.
recently. These past 2 years, like I mentioned, have been real up and down for Jimmy. But he's the class of the field right now.
Yeah.
Running away from the most recent race winner, and then Travis Woodward's runner-up in points last year, multi-time winner, and Bobby Fischer, multi-time winner this year.
So continuing to string just excellent laps together. Closest battle on the tracks for second and third. That's the one you're watching through the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car camera of Travis Woodward. Just trying to find some space around Jackson Beckel in the 18, and Beckel technically solid. He's got good guys in his corner, good trainers, as they're helping him make the best of his rookie season. Time at a very, very small minimum. That sands in the hourglass are all trickling out. Jackson Beckel in second in the 18. Travis Woodward third in the 16. But as we're going to get a look here in just a couple of seconds, Jimmy Absher is untouchable right now and driving to the white flag.
Look at that gap between him and second place Jackson Beckel. Absher's taken the white, one more trip. Down the backstretch by this point, you just saw how big that gap was through turn number 3. Exiting off of turn number 4, Jimmy Absher, his first time this season, is gonna be a mini stock winner.
Congrats to the Wild Man. Big win for him. We will come back with more. You are tuned in to your favorite show Sunday night here on Seattle 11. This is Home Track Heroes.
Travis, where are you racing out of? Where's hometown?
Lake Stevens.
Lake Stevens. What are your sponsors of your vehicle?
I got Bravo Pizza, I got Dick's Tire House, Alberti Fabrication, Simon & Son Towings, SRB Transportation. I know I'm forgetting. Oh, Snow King Tools. So glad to be up here.
Give it up for third place, number 16, Travis Woodward.
Thank you.
Jackson, where are you racing out of? Who is this right here?
That's my nephew.
All right, we'll have the nephew up here as well. Where are you racing out of?
Snohomish.
Snohomish. All right, so is the sponsors of your vehicle?
Tire Pros Arlington, they're a big help this year. Dave and John, they've really helped me throughout the weeks with the motor swaps, everything. PRCBD for sure. Joe's, PTM. My dad, Sierra, Jordan, everyone that just came out. Good job, Jimmy. He needed this one.
How long have you been racing out here at the Speedway?
Oh, since I was probably 13, 14.
All right, so how many years is that? Do the math.
5.
5 years. Give it up for second place, number 18, Jackson Beckel. Jimmy Absher, you had a pretty fast car out here, huh?
Well, this thing. It's the first race I finished this year.
Oh, wow. Give it up for Jimmy in the first race he finished this year.
Yeah.
So tell me about all the kids that were up here.
So that's my oldest daughter, Peyton, my youngest daughter, my grandson, and Meadows' best friend, my trophy girls.
So you are teaching some generational racing out here tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, some evergreen legends coming up.
All right, so tell me about the race. The Cliff Notes version, you had such a fast car in the heats, we just couldn't stop talking about it up in the booth. What led to that tonight?
Well, that's literally a brand new motor. I drove to Illinois and picked it up because I blew the last one up. We just tuned it this week, and we had a little fine tuning going on out here in the pits, and we just went for it. And the crazy thing is, on lap 29, coming across the start-finish line, I broke my front axle, and I pretty much just coasted all the way around for the win.
Oh my goodness, wow. Give it up for the BECU mini stock champion tonight, number 26, Jimmy Absher.
Look how happy he was. Congratulations, Jimmy Absher. He was happier than Derek Todoroff watching a figure 8 race. We're ready to see the PR CBD Hornets coming up next. What? You're happy watching figure 8s like that?
I'm just not sure if he's happier than I am when I'm watching figure 8s.
He could be. It is time to get these guys up and going. 20 cars scheduled 30 times around. It sounds like we are going to Das Boot for your lineup. It is Tegan Bjornsson on the pole in the 59, sponsored by Misfit Motorsports. He's from Arlington. And Donna Gillespie, the 024, originally out of Salem, Oregon.
Now the Trees Service Cross Removal number 5 out of Arlington is Carly Gosler. The True Line Wheel and Frame of Seattle, Snohomish native, the 101 is Brian McNamara.
Row number 3, Michael Turner, the 022, also originally from Salem. And the 08, Bobby Hauk, out of Snohomish, sponsored by Snow Valley Farms.
The Duval native, the 42 of Dempsey Graham, alongside Andrew Zachary in the 39Z.
Row number 5, Lucas Hausenfluck from Lake Stevens in the Cornerstone Homes car. And the 17S of Gino Solomon from North Bend, sponsored by Valley Asphalt.
Out of Snohomish, the Snoqualmie Casino 45, Trinity Reppin, alongside the Arlington native, the Olympia Pizza 30 of Pat Folger.
Row behind them, it's the 15 of Matt Snyder from Snohomish, sponsored by Handy in the Valley. Outside of him, 77 of Christian Miller from Everett, sponsored by Turbo Espresso.
Marysville native of the 19 is Scarlett Fisher, alongside the Exterior Wall Systems 00 out of Everett, Dan Miller.
Feature winner on the year, the 717 of Diesel Snyder out of Cle Elum, sponsored by Valley Asphalt. 21L of Dustin Lytle out of Marysville, sponsored by the Gutter Installer.
Homeland Security 25 out of Arlington, Stephen Dodson, alongside the Hibbs Automotive number 1, your defending champion, Zach Bristol.
Bristol starting dead last. Let's see how it goes. Oh, they're 4 wide.
They're 4 wide.
Oh, sir, you got to be careful about parking there. They all make it through as Bjornsson already kind of putting on a smoke show for us. And just like that, we're going to do it all again. So 4 wide and clean through the corners, and apparently we'll have to give it a second shot. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, sometimes mistakes happen. This time, gonna try and keep them even when they roll through the corner. Bjornsson and Gillespie out front. They will see the green, and we're underway once more here for the Hornets.
Home Track Heroes brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And the action's hot already in the Hornets because they tried going 4 wide again. Coming off that turn now, watch that pinch down into the narrow boot section of the track. That transition, and oh yeah,
whoa.
There was 6 cars going for 1 spot, and that is highly ineffective.
Matt Snyder, Scarlett Fisher, Stephen Dodson, Dustin Lytle, Trinity Reppin, all involved.
And it's Dodson with that hood kind of popped up and in the air in the 25 car that you saw. Here's Reppin. And Reppin, oh yeah, nope, didn't quite get wide enough to get around the tire stack. And now watch everything that happens in behind because of it. Oh yeah. For Lytle, that happened awfully quick. Can somebody please get that guy some driving gloves? There you go. See, Scarlett Fisher's got the right idea. She's got the driving gloves on and right in behind, and expected
Fisher
Snyder.
up in the air.
Yeah, had expected Snyder to just keep going, and let's watch the damage to the Dodson car. It's going to happen awfully quick. Bang! Just like that.
Wow, oh, we took the number off of Lytle's car.
Quite literally, swipe the number?
Yeah, we can see it when it comes on through. See that panel fly up? That is the number off of the door of the 21L.
Oh, yeah, rip the door panel off. Wow.
So that's quite the stack up, one of the risks of the boot down the access road, but a lot of competitive cars tore up in that one.
All right, so that'll thin the field in some places and give us a 2x2 restart coming after him. Bjornsson smoking up a storm, still right next to the 024 of Gillespie as we roll the green flag action once again.
Yeah, it looks like Trinity Reppin survived to keep running in this one. Bjornson and Gillespie lead them once more into turn number 1. They're still 3 wide in the battle for third. They have not learned any lessons so far.
At least they're not 4 wide because they were trying that a couple of times.
I'm sure they would continue if they could. We're 3 wide in multiple places now. Gillespie almost goes off the track. Cuts back down. It's still the 2 of them battling for the lead. It's still incredibly chaotic behind them.
Bjornson.
Oh, up into the wall goes the 42.
Okay, so 42 of Graham smacks the fence, pulls off. They're still 3 wide all over the place here. Bjornson is your early race leader over Gillespie, who is hot in pursuit in second. And then third is Carly Gosler in 5 car, trying to hang on to that with everybody looking at the back of her car and saying, I want that spot and I want it now.
Here comes the 101 of McNamara on the hunt for Gosler. Real loose to the corner, going to give an opportunity for Hauk and Turner to go by. Hauk makes the pass on Gosler as well, heading into the access road, and we're almost 4 wide once again.
Wow, look out, brake check, coming into the sharp left-hand turn, and everybody survives it. I actually think it's Dan Miller's 00, who's the big mover from the back of the field here. Early, I just saw Miller almost up to the 6th position.
I don't know, right behind him is Zach Bristol.
Yeah, okay, so 2 big movers coming up from the back of the field already. So we'll get a look at Diesel Snyder, the 717. He is in the right-hand screen here as he looks for opportunity to come through. And nope, we got one around. It was McNamara, the 101, who just went cattywampus.
And we just saw the rear bumper tore off the back of the 77. Now Dan Miller's cattywampus into the infield grass in 3 and 4. He'll rejoin. Snyder side by side with the 1 of Bristol right now. Still cutting our way through the field on the left side of your screen. You can see the damage to the 77. The bumper cover continuing to drag. Crossover attempt there from Bristol on Diesel. Not going to work out this time. 717 can holding off the 1 right now.
We laid some commentators' curses there out on the field. Name of the new podcast that Derek has got up and going.
Yes, thank you.
Cheap plug. As they roll down and around the boot, we're watching Snyder on the right-hand side and watching whoever comes into the screen on the left-hand side because the boot has had some action in it for sure. You got to wonder if Miller's going to look to shake that bumper cover off at some point in time because it's essentially just target practice.
Hauk just was slowed up there in 3 and 4. Got a shot to the back from the 717 of Diesel Snyder. Now Bristol trying to make a difference against both of them, and they might take it 3 wide again.
Oh, look out. The back of Bobby Hauk seeing some action, and you're right. They're 3 wide down the boot where Bristol is going to pick up 2 spots for the price of 1, and Zach Bristol quickly moving up to the front of this field as he snags 2 positions right through that 1 corner.
Man, one could argue that's the Bristol way right there.
Down the short chute before the right-hand turn. Coming into it, we're watching Bristol in the 1. Snyder directly in and behind him right now here in the PRCBD Hornet Division. PRCBD, swing by their place in Arlington for all your CBD questions or needs. For people, pets, and more, go to prcbd.com and use the promo code RACE.
Cut back to our main view as you see the bumper continuing to flap around on the back of the 77 of Christian Miller. Bjornson out front right now, Gillespie, and then Zach Bristol, who has made his way from the 20th starting spot and is now contending for 2nd.
In 8 laps, in fact, Donna Gillespie, you're in trouble. Here comes Zach Bristol. The 1 car flashing forward and at the line. Move him to 2nd. Tegan Bjornson, I don't know how far out in front of this pack you have jumped out, but it may not be nearly enough. Because here comes Bristol. He'll be battling for the lead in no time.
Historically speaking, if Bristol can see you, you're not out of the woods. As the number 1, the defending champion and the points leader, reeling in the 59 of Bjornson.
And if you'll remember, speaking about going for the track championship here in the second one, he said, be really cool to get 2 in a row. So he is definitely gunning for it, and he now has the race lead from dead last up into the front. Zach Bristol going to set the pace here on this main event.
You see that Diesel Snyder has also made his way up into 3rd. Will likely be trying to chase down and follow the number 1 of Zach Bristol. Bjornson in the way right now. Is 717 going to go to the low side? Both of them raced Youth Hornets against one another back in the day. as Diesel clears and is up into second.
So nice move by Snyder. Now the question is, with no slower cars in between them, what can he do with Bristol? Bristol had some gap in between them when he made that 2-for-1 move, and it didn't look like Snyder was able to close anything down. However, this race still very long in the tooth. A lot of laps still to go. A lot can change.
You see Christian Miller with the flap and bumper cover starting to close in. Might be able to threaten for a podium spot here. Sitting at the edge of the top 5. Coming around here onto the access road. It's every time it hits the ground, it bounces back up, just flapping around in the wind.
That's no good. Although, you know, it's not like these things are exactly aerodynamically great, so it's not causing them too much consternation on there. It is making for a nice visual for the fans out at Evergreen Speedway and all of you
that
on
it
Home Track
is.
Heroes.
As he is clear now up into 4th, past Donna Gillespie. Might even be hoping for a little bit of contact perhaps from the 024 to take that bumper cover off.
Yeah, just a straight power move there by the 77 of Christian Miller, and now coming up on the 59 of Bjornsson. As we're approaching the halfway mark here in this main event, it is Christian Miller who we're watching the 77 car, albeit with the rear bumper cover flying around in the wind and looking to make a move into a podium position as he rolls in on the 53 or 59 of Tegan Bjornsson.
Right up to the back bumper of Bjornsson. He wants 3rd, wants to chase down Diesel and Zach Bristol. As making the move to the inside, coming across the line, we are at the halfway point. 15 down, 15 to go in this 30-lapper. And Christian Miller has grabbed 3rd.
Ah, the power of running good rivets, right? That's all that's really holding on the bumper cover at this point in time is a very strong riveter 4. As we'll continue to watch that, he quickly put some distance in between himself and Bjornsson here in this main event. Bjornsson 4th, long ways back between him and Gillespie, although kudos to those two. You know, you don't see your front row hang around in the top 5 for a whole long period of time, especially when they start getting past. And both those drivers managed to get away from the field and have very strong runs going. Now, see that? Here comes Dan Miller making a comeback.
Yeah, Dan Miller has worked his way from the back forward. He has been passed by the 1 in the 717, but that doesn't seem to faze him too much. As slow and steady wins the race, you know?
Well, you remember earlier, he had made a run. He was up ahead of those 2 drivers and got sideways coming off the bottom of turn number 4, which cost him not only momentum, he had to fire the car back up and climb through the years to go, but track positioning to him as well. So he's had to run those drivers down and pass them just to make his way back in the top 5. And now, knocking on the door for 4th as he's got a bid to the inside here in the first corner.
Yeah, you see him there, not able to find it this time. But against that Army Green, 59 might have a route to the outside or crossover perhaps through the access road. It's Tegan doing a great job playing defensive right now.
I think Miller knows he's got the faster car and might wait for a more wide open opportunity to make the run through. Watch him here. He's going to climb up to about the door panel and now just kind of outbrake 59 Bjornsson into turn number 1. That's a very safe passing zone for the 00 of Miller. He will make the pass. He'll take 4th. Now the question is, we're coming in 10 laps to go. Does he have anything in trying to catch his son, Christian Miller, or your top 2 who we haven't seen since the Stone Ages at this point?
Well, I don't know, but while they were down the backstretch of the 1/5 mile, we'll see if we see it again as Miller takes the left down 1 and 2 here. The toe or the top of the boot, depending on how you look at it. We'll head back up front to the number 1 of Zach Bristol, making a move to the inside of Trinity Reppin and Gino Solomon. And we'll get a view, I think this time, you look into the backstretch, I believe there's a discarded white bumper. I think Christian Miller has shaken loose his flapping bumper.
Well, it took him long enough. Sheesh. Either way, good for Christian. Hopefully he can keep it up as Bristol, he's working in the single digits now. He's down to 8 laps to go in a dominating performance from him and working in amongst slower traffic and trying to put them laps down. Gosler next up on the agenda. Sneaking up on the 5 and moves from the outside to the inside coming off the corner. And so long as Carly's heads play nice, put another one down a lap via Zach Bristol.
Man, swift and clean. It's like watching a surgeon go to work, the way he cuts his way through this field.
Or a big bald guy animated on a commercial. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
I don't even know how to react to that.
You're
I'm going to be
not.
honest. No, I know the ad you're talking about.
I heard you. It's just sometimes you're too young for my witty references. It's okay. We'll work on it.
I know the ad. Oh, we got a car stopped infield.
We do. It's the 59 of Bjornsson, we understand. So, Bjornsson, good run for him, stopped. We will be back with the conclusion for the PRCBD Hornet main event after this on Home Track Heroes. Well, we've got to finish off our Hornet main event, the PRCBD Hornets, adult version of them here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Caleb Hart, Derek Todoroff, and we're down to just 7 laps to go and a stacked up field coming to the restart. Zach Bristol has run from dead last to your lead. Can anybody play spoiler on this one? About to find out. This green flag is out. Our program today brought to you by Gene Johnson, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical.
I feel like it's worth noting we started with 12 cars. We are down to 11 on this restart. As the one machine pulling away, it is a battle right now for second. Christian Miller and Diesel Snyder. Snyder clear for now. Miller goes up the track. Side by side between Gillespie and Dan Miller in what is the battle for fourth.
When you say goes up the track, Christian Miller darn near wheels off the racetrack in turn 3 before he recovered there. And a nice job by Gillespie retaking position over Dan Miller. Miller got to get the prop plane wound back up so he can try to roll forward. As before the break, he was trying to run down his kid, Christian 77, and now Christian's right up in the back of Diesel Snyder, and Miller trying to get around Gillespie for position number 4. He's got a line to the inside as they roll down the front straightaway. Can Dan make the pass? Well, we won't know because the camera took a look at that good battle for second that's going on with Christian Miller all over Diesel Snyder.
Yeah, Snyder going to go up the track just that little bit to open door, and now Dan Miller is burning it down the access road. We cut back to the battle for second. Christian, his son, will capitalize up into second. Dan loses 4 spots, it looks like, and Diesel Snyder falls to third.
And you wonder, because Michael Turner in the 022 picked off Donna Gillespie in the exchange at the same time. You wonder if there was contact that we missed that allowed the 022 to not only send Miller running, but get by Gillespie at the same time. Gino Solomon and Lucas Hausenfluck making the move down to the low side on Gillespie as they come in through the corner with just 3 laps to go. As those guys trying to bid for a top 5 finish.
Looking at that hood of Donna Gillespie, I'm inclined to say there might have been some contact. We saw it flapping in the wind, much like Christian Miller's bumper last time through the access road, but also just how crunched up it is. Contact between her and the 03 of Lucas Hausenfluck. As now the 00 waiting for an opportunity to get by. And Michael Turner slow on 3 and 4. Might have missed a shift, I'm not sure. It looks like he's getting back up to speed, so it might have just been that, as we've got 2 to go.
Yeah, he has plenty of opportunity to pull off and go, as Donna Gillespie is using all that front bumper and more, trying to come through. Trinity Rapid taking advantage and picking up some spots. So we're down to 1 to go here in what's been a interesting last couple of laps of this race.
You just saw the gap there between 3rd and 4th. There is a large stretch of racetrack between Diesel Snyder and your next few drivers, but through turn number 3 and exiting off of turn number 4, Zach Bristol continues a dominant season. Checkered in the air for Zach.
He'll take the W over Christian Miller and Diesel Snyder. Now you got time to bust out the phone book and start reading through at least the A's. Albert, Allen, Amanda. Okay, now the rest of the field finishes off. Checkered flag out. Let's talk to your top 3 of the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Diesel, where are you racing out of? What's your hometown?
Basically Monroe, Cle Elum.
Nice. Who are your car sponsors?
My car sponsors are Valley Asphalt, Handy in the Valley, Falls Compound Pharmacy, Hair Rink, Snow Falls Credit Union, North Bend Chevrolet, Bus Drivers, SC, and Brandy Hood Promotions for the videos.
Give it up for 3rd place, Diesel Snyder. All right, Christian, could you feel that bumper waving on you back there?
Yeah, I heard something back there. I kind of figured the bumper got ripped off, but, just made the car a little bit lighter and made me go faster, I guess.
Where are you running out of? Where's home for you?
Everett.
Everett. What are your car sponsors here tonight?
I got a whole list. So, I got Turbo Espresso, Exterior Wall Systems, Rick's Mobile AC, Gardner Properties, Blackwood Homes, Fast Eddie's Tire Pros, Whiskey Years Over, Dodson Motorsports, Brandy Hood, Brandy Chavez for putting the camera in my car tonight, GN Northwest, Performance Machine, and everyone in the Hornets Nest group. I love you guys. You guys are the best. All the fans, love you too. You guys rock.
How about that cheat sheet by second place, number 77, Christian Miller? Zach, where's your hometown?
Right over here in Snohomish, Washington.
You got to love that. Who are your sponsors of your car tonight you want to thank?
Hibbs Automotive, Tommy and Candy Hibbs, they own that car. They give me the pleasure to run it every single Hornet race. Bennett Design Construction, Gourmet Latte, Village Transmission, Townsend Peterson LLC. My good luck charm there, Jenny Beaners, is for you as always, brother. My beautiful girlfriend, Sarah. We got a little injured at work during the week, and she's been taking care of me all day, and thankfully we made it through the race.
Sarah gets a shout out too. That's pretty good. All right, so talk about the race. It wasn't wire to wire. So what helped you get to the front and stay there?
A lot of lucky breaks. That pilot down in the access road, that took about 3 of the fast guys out, and then my teammate Dan in 00, he's fast too. He spun out in the water, and thankfully we got lucky, got through it, and I was nervous about that yellow. I've been side by side with Diesel before after on a restart, and he got me last time, so thankfully this time we got him.
Your champion of the Hornet main tonight, number 1, Zach Bristol.
Zach Bristol having a clear, I don't know what to do with my hands moment in victory lane there as he tried to figure out which trophy to pick up or to put the flag down or whatever that was. Zach, you've been there enough.
I think we call that a Jake Reppin moment.
Get a hold of yourself, Zach. My goodness. Congrats on the win. As we move forward, it is time for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s 30 times around the Figure 8 track here at Evergreen Speedway with Bill Fleischacker out of Duval on the pole in the V36, sponsored by Papa's Bar in Monroe, and Captain Chaos, the 8 of Jacob Funk from Mill Creek, outside of him.
Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning right along. The JE55 at Jessica Wilkinson out of Marysville. Allsolve Plumbing, 76S out of Everett, is Chris Southard.
Our third row next to each other, the 17X of Rick Yargis from Stanwood, McCarthy General Contractor car. 88 of Guy Litz out of Bothell. Protocol Plumbing and Sewer sponsors him.
Siskiyou and Power Equipment aboard the 43 out of Darrington. That's Sheridan Vincent. Winter Speed Shop of Burien is on the Linwood native, the 66 of Rick Jones.
Row number 5, Aaron Flood from Tacoma, the Kent Collision Center, number 98. And Big Bird, Robert Weldon, car number 63 out of Arlington, sponsored by All Ply Roofing, LLC.
The Pilchuck Heating 72 out of Arlington, Jeff Talbert, lines up alongside the Homegrown Hair Studio 45 out of Darrington of Chevy Vincent.
And the final row out of Aberdeen, car number 5, Quentin Borison drives the Mary's Towing car. And Mackenzie Dietz out of Monroe in the 67, sponsored by PECU. So 30 times around, good field of cars once again, 14 starters here for our A main event. And Fleischacker and Funk from the pole getting ready to bring down what could be a really fun A main event here at Evergreen Speedway. Let's take a look at it. They'll make this slow circle in and around the left-hand turn, or the north pole if you prefer, as they start gassing her up and going to the right-hand turn. Fleischacker gets the jump on Funk, and we're green.
Fleischacker comes to life, the captain here, slowing up that inside line. Opportunity for Jessica Wilkinson and the others behind her to try and find a way on through. Wilkinson clears here on the inside, maybe not quite into the left-hand corner, chasing down Bill Fleischacker. As washing up the track goes Funk. That's opportunity here as, whoa, contact, Funk and Litz. And there's a spin there, and up in the air goes the 66.
He's going to stop the 66 of Jones in his track. Caution flag out. Will, lucky enough, looks like the Home Track Heroes crew got a couple of different looks at the replays. First from the Brandy Hood Promotions 45 of Chevy Vincent. That's part of the reason you put the big old cow catcher front bumpers on those things, is to take an impact like that. Second look, as straight around goes the 8 car from that corner, from the speed cam on the front straightaway. Second look at it, and the final shot will show us the final picture. Right from up top, around the corner, and Guy Litz, no mercy shall be shown, no quarter shall be given, as he helps the 8 of Funk around. So we'll get another look at this, a restart coming up here in just a second.
Luckily, it doesn't look too serious, that incident. I'd expect to see, or at least hope to see, both cars back in the race. As Flyshacker has control, he will be leading the J55 and the 76S.
So we got a lap down. Delaware style in behind your leader. Our segment brought to you by Monroe Grocery Outlet, your locally owned neighborhood grocery store. They offer name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more at 40 to 70% less than traditional grocery stores. Shop them first and save. Monroe Grocery Outlet, the proud sponsor of our Superstock Figure 8 class.
Southard there was contending with the JE55. Jessica Wilkinson putting a lot of pressure on there. See, Wilkinson's got Vincent behind her. Still fighting side by side with 76S, but they're not letting the 36 of Flyshacker get away. Yargis and Vincent in 4th and 5th. See Flett and Borison coming quick. We're riding along with Borison on the right-hand side.
They were all playing really nice until Southard just pushed the bottom, going into the right-hand corners. Now he's ahead coming into the intersection. Can Flyshacker rally back and retain the lead? He's got it for the time being. Chris, though, opportunity to work solely into possession of second, and he's going to take that.
Borison just went up into the air there for a moment. He's given some contact to the back of the 98, perhaps letting him know his displeasure, or perhaps getting hit from behind. Southard goes up the track, perhaps issues for him. Who knows? It's chaotic. You got to just keep going.
That's figure 8 racing. Everything can and will happen at some point in time over the course of the main. So, Flyshacker, Wilkinson, and now Vincent in the 3rd spot. And Vincent's got a little bit of freedom to explore high-lows. He's got a bit of a gap between himself and Yargis. Let's see how he chooses to attack Wilkinson and go in after second.
Yargis, Flett round out your top 5. Borison there at the edge, waiting to find a way on through. And see the 36 of Flyshacker, mirror full of Jessica Wilkinson. With Vincent keeping it patient so far.
We know how strong that 36 is. Steve Peters just jumped back into that car a couple of weekends ago for our Figure 8 Nationals and led a bulk of the laps here in that main event. So we know it's got power. We know it's got handle. The question is today the day that Flyshacker can rein it in and bring it the rest of the way? We're a 5th of the way through the race. And so far, so good for Bill. Wilkinson, then Vincent, followed by Yargis, and sitting in the 5th spot, Aaron Flett having a nice run.
Just a short little side note, you might have saw Captain Chaos there. He and Rick Jones both did continue. The car that I don't think did is, I believe, Chevy Vincent. Is not still in this one. I think he might have done some damage from, we saw that big hit to the back, maybe cracked something in the radiator, something along those lines.
Chevy Vincent, that car, the winning car from Figure 8 Nationals with Dawson Cox aboard. So knock out a contender early on as Flett working to the outside on the 17 of Yargis, and coming on through, Quentin Borison. See an opportunity. Heck, Borison might be able to get 2 for 1 here, depending on how this shakes out. Although he's going to have to defend the inside. Southard coming back after him.
This is crowded.
Yeah, this has got potential to be very ugly for a couple of different drivers.
Oh, around goes Funk right in front of him.
Look out, Funk manages to not tag anybody, although he's sitting right out in the middle of the X. That is bad juju, and we are going to wave the caution for him. Not going to get a replay of this one. We will get Funk fired back up and around. We're back with more Superstock Figure 8s coming up next here on Home Track Heroes. Well, we are just a handful of laps into what's shaping up to be a pretty darn good Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8A main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Bill Flyshacker is out front. The guys in the booth, the disembodied heads with voices. I am Caleb Hart. He is Derek Todoroff.
Yes,
and
I am.
We are green. Coming off the corner, it's Vincent pushing hard for second, maybe the lead getting into this first set of corners.
He's got a bit of preferred line there through this right-hand corner. Flett here pushing 4th. He is side by side along with Jessica Wilkinson right now. They stay neck and neck. Flyshacker loving this assuredly out front, appreciating that no one threatening his race lead at the moment.
Well done, Jessica Wilkinson, really battling for that second place spot. She's having a great run here tonight on Granite Construction Night on Home Track Heroes, program brought to you by Gene Johnson, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, as I levied the commentator's curse, and it jumps up to rear its ugly head. Oops.
Yeah, the announcer's curse right there. making a move to the inside line. It looked like there just wasn't enough room, and Jessica Wilkinson, unfortunately, smacks into the Uke tire.
So, as if you didn't all see Jessica taking on the Uke tire and the Uke tire kind of winning. Let's get another look at it. Oh, say, I don't know, 4 times just to make sure you didn't miss it. Thump. There's one. Coming through. Here's from Rick Yargis' point of view, and thump. There's 2.
Good dodge by Yargis.
Number 3, Flett says, hey, Jess, thump. And now the 4th, the coup de grace into the turn, thump. And yeah, car versus Uke tire today, Uke tire wins.
Generally speaking, I feel like that's a fair roll.
So we're going to stack them back up. We're going Delaware style once again here on this restart. Aaron Flett now with the side-by-side position with Chevy Vincent. Sorry, Sheridan Vincent.
Sheridan Vincent.
Coming in row number 2. Green is out. Flett getting a great start. And if he can pull her down, which he does, he will secure that second spot. So nice move, Aaron Flett. He's into second and trying to chase down Bill Fleischacker for the lead.
Yeah, great jump there for Flett. He is right there at the back bumper immediately of Fleischacker. You still got Vincent, and then it looks like Vincent trying to fend off Quentin Borson, the one-arm bandit, to his inside. Vincent might fall in line or get pushed up a little too high. Southard had an opportunity, not able to take it. Top 3 are Fleischacker, Flett, and Borison.
So let's go into our Aaron Flett fun facts. I only know him from the Legend Car Racing, but he does have some good help in his corner in the pit area as John Zaretsky's down there helping him work on that super stock, right?
Yeah, Jay-Z is working on that super stock figure 8. That's a new to them vehicle. I know that it had some Wilkinson tuning, but prior to its trip into their hands, as it's a competitive car from what I've heard, and Flett was just getting used to the figure 8 course.
And he's really taken to figure 8 racing quite well, as you can see right here. I mean, it takes quite a bit to hold off Quentin Borison. Now, the car looks a little squirrely, but he's managed to get it under control, and Borison not being given a free pass into second place. He's going to shoot the outside here, and you can see Flett is dealing with that race car being loose, but it's got speed. Question is, does it have enough to hold off the 5? And the answer, not through that pass.
Yeah, loose might be an understatement. That 98 car is sliding around like it's on ice. Pressure coming from Sheridan Vincent behind Flett. It's your battle for the lead. Borison taking the high line against Fleischacker. These two have fought many a time before as Fleischacker falls into second. New race leader, the one-arm bandit.
So Borison jumps it up to the top spot. Almost looked like Fleischacker braked too hard getting into the right-hand set of corners the last time by, and it cost him a lot of forward drive. Now Vincent all over the back of Flett, looking to jump back into the top 3 as tail end of the intersection is starting to warm up a little, Derek.
Oh, contact between Yargis and Jones. They're going to go way up the track, entering into the intersection area. Still lots of beating and banging further back. You see the view from McKenzie fighting with both Sheridan Vincent in front and the 76S of Southard behind. As Fleischacker going to put a lap here on Captain Chaos of Jacob Funk. Funk there on the low side through the right-hand corner has drifted up a couple of times previously. And he will slide out of the way up to the top side now as, whoa, big lock up there for the 36. Sideways, here comes Sheridan Vincent contending with Flett for third.
And Vincent was almost in trouble. There goes Flett around. He'll collect deets in the process. Cars strewing about everywhere here as laps were rapidly running out. And we will see yellow flag action for Flett and Dietz here. And let's get some replays and a look at how it went down once again.
Riding along here with Flett, you see the 36 get loose, and as a result, 43 got underneath him. He just goes around, and that tag there, immediately you see steam coming up. I think might have just punctured a water line. Here's the view from McKenzie, and just right around goes the 98. Nowhere for her to go.
Yeah, easy to knock off a radiator hose or something like that. She come through the corner, and here's a look at the chain reaction, and Southard, nothing he could have done there. He just had to keep in the gas as best he could and hope that he came through it. So another looking through, and yep, you saw the back end of that flight car, which was already a little loose to start with. Start coming around, chain reaction, and, we'll get another restart looking here. This is great news for Quentin Borison and the rest of the field. Opportunity abounds, chance to pass, or other side of that, chance for guys maybe to fade backwards.
And here is the one-arm bandit in control, the Delaware style. It will be Vincent and Fleischacker, then Litz and Talbert, both of whom were not even running the top 10 early on. Green flag in the air. Contact immediately between Fleischacker and Vincent. You saw smoke coming off of Fleischacker as the two of them make some more contact through the right-hand corner.
Physical racing between those two. Fleischacker pushed to the outside lane and gonna fade a couple of spots here as you see the right front corner panel on the 88 of Litz flying in the air. Now Bill and Jones. Bill and Jones do Bill and Jones things.
I think the left front of Bill Fleischacker might have gone down. He just wasn't able to turn there, and unfortunately just nabs the 66 of Rick Jones, and that'll bring the caution out.
So let's get a couple of different views of this one as well. From the Yargis car coming into the corner and into the turn they go. There's the contact from that point of view. Here's from the back view of Yargis coming past it and into the turn once again. And you're right, left front of the Fleischacker car does look compromised at this point in time. So caution out and double them up one more time. Just take a couple of the principals out of the middle of it and shove them to the back if they can restart.
Yeah, it's a tough break there for Rick Jones, who was having a pretty good race recovering from that early incident with him and Jacob Funk. As it's now the 5 of Borison, 72 of Talbert, 43 of Vincent.
Quentin Borison looking to drive towards an ice cold Busch Beer, the official beer of NASCAR and Evergreen Speedway. Busch Beer, the sound of refreshment, crisp and cold as a mountain stream. Keep your fridge happy by stocking it with Busch and Busch Light. Busch.
Shoulders out racing there from the 72 and the 43. You saw everyone loose on the restart. Fleischacker's up the track again, also holding up Captain Chaos. They seem to be continuing. Saw Guy Litz almost completely perpendicular to the rest of the course on the restart. He's falling back through the field. It's Mackenzie working the low side against him.
Our 14-car field has gotten a little thin here in the late stages of the races as attrition has taken part and knocked a couple of drivers out. Borison, Talbert, and Vincent 1, 2, and 3, and yet the intersection's still active despite the fact that we've lost a couple here in the late stages. 4 to go for Quentin in the 5 car.
If Stinger 8 Racing has taught me anything, it's that the intersection is always active, no matter how many cars you have on track.
Look at Dietz trying to rally her way back forward. Her season started out hotter than a ghost pepper. It's tamed a little bit here just beyond the mid-season point, but Mackenzie's still battling, and opportunity here to sneak around Yargis for 4th would mean something for season points going forward. Yargis having a really good afternoon and evening, though, holding her off for the time being.
Yeah, the 17X, as you mentioned at the top of the program, took the nose off of that car, and it's been doing pretty good since then. But no one as good as the one-armed bandit. Quentin Borison still in control. Best battle on track, Vincent and Talbert for 2nd. As they come through the intersection, it will be 1 to go. The white flag waves for Quentin Borison.
Nice job to the one-armed bandit, taking control and never looking back here in this one, as he's just got a couple more circles to make. He'll get through the south portion of the turn, over to turning left, and Quentin Borison going to take the W ahead of Jeff Talbert and Sheridan Vincent, 2 and 3 here in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8A main event. We'll talk to him down at the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort Podium. Oh, not yet. Hold on. Give him a couple more seconds. They got to do a burnout first, right? Burn it down. All right, now we'll go trackside. Nice little smoke show. To the podium. Winners interviews.
What a crazy little race right there, huh?
Yeah, that was nuts.
So, where are you racing out of? Where's your hometown?
Darrington, Washington.
Darrington, up north. They don't want grizzly bears in Darrington, I'll tell you that much. So where's your, what are your sponsors for your ride tonight?
Oh, I got a lot. I wish I had my phone or a piece of paper. First off, my wife. Can't do any of this without her. My Aunt Heidi. My mom. Grandma and Grandpa Horn. Gary and Rosetta Willis. Annie M's Dog Spa. Siskin Power Equipment. I'm forgetting some. Jake and Wanda. My in-laws. Westweld. I think that's it.
Give it up for third place here in the Super Stock Final, Sheridan Vinson. Jeff, where's your hometown?
Arlington, Washington.
Arlington, up north as well. Shout outs to your sponsors tonight.
Obviously got to thank my wife first. She's the only reason I'm able to do this. Stephanie's Hope. These people are amazing. You need to look them up, help them out, do everything you can. And then Pilchuck Heating, my business. We do all heating, air conditioning.
Just like Sheridan said, that was a pretty crazy race. In front and behind you, what are the keys or what were your personal keys in a figure 8 race to stay your position and get on the podium?
Pay attention and see where everybody else is going and don't go that way, because you're going to get collected if you're part of that.
Simple as that. Give it up. Second place, Jeff Talbot. All right, Quentin, sorry to mix you up with the fugitive over there, but what year did you start racing?
Oh, geez, probably before most people here were born, 1984.
1984. Steve, you were close. You said 86. Where is your hometown?
Aberdeen, Washington.
Aberdeen, Washington. Home of Nirvana. That's right. Sponsors you want to shout out tonight after tonight's big win?
Yeah, Mary's Auto Wrecking, Mary's Auto Parts, Mary's Auto Sales. Mary right there, her husband Chris, they do everything for me. They provide a car. Oh man, if you guys, have to go to a wrecking yard, if you have to get a car towed, call her. Give her a call, because you know what? We wouldn't be out here without the help, and man, I got my friend Nick Damonides at Olympia Pete's house. He jumps on board with our 52 car, our other car that didn't make it tonight. But yeah, what a night. Yeah, if you only knew how the day started.
Well, earlier in the heat races, you kind of stuck back a little bit. You didn't give it all you had. But for the race here tonight, it wasn't wire to wire. You came up from the back. What was some of the strategy in doing that, or was it just, as they said before, luck?
No, just pay attention and be really patient. A lot of times the race will sort itself out. Sometimes you think you're not going to get anywhere and stuff, but I've learned if you stay really patient, hold a good line, and race everybody clean, they race it clean back, and it could be a lot of fun.
Give it up for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Bargain Market Super Stock Champion, number 5, Quentin Borison.
Our program continues here. Thanks for letting us entertain you on a Sunday night. Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Derek Todoroff sitting over here. Caleb Hart in this seat and ready to go for our Tire Pros Street Stock Division. 30 laps around the 3/8. Derek, who are we looking at for the starting lineup?
We're being led by the Omni Contracting Solutions, number 72 of Brian Thornborough out of Arlington. The Ad Taxi, number 96 out of Lake Stevens at Tyler Hill.
Row number 2, Chase Jones. The 14's rebuilt that car. He's out of Duval, sponsored by Whisper Cool. Next to him, the veteran Kenny Erickson. Car number 22 out of Tulalip, sponsored by Central Welding.
Monroe O'Reilly's riding aboard the number 44 of Andrew Rivas. He's alongside the Tiger Construction 27 out of Green Bank at Jerry Hell.
Row number 4 to the inside, the trademark RCS number 85 of Jim Fody. Outside of him, Austin Camp, car number 69 out of Monroe, sponsored by Milberg.
The Redmond native, sponsored by Jason at Stingray Auto Repair of Redmond. The 03 is Blaine Fagerly. Alongside the 3, the Snohomish native Tire Pros, the shop of Arlington, on board Jesse Jensen.
And starting tail end, Charlie on the field. It's the Lang Auto Sport 06, Steve Potasic out of Bothell. So we'll go 30 times around the 3/8 11 cars, duking it out for Street Stock Glory here on Home Track Heroes. These features are always fun. No matter how this field lines up, there's always something inevitably that happens, right?
Action everywhere. That's the secret to them.
So our Speedway Chevrolet pace car will dart off into the infield. Thornborough versus Hill at the front row of this. And off at corner number 4, we are green.
Green flag in the air. You see the 72 and the 96 immediately going door to door here. Contact into turn number 1. It's the 22 of Kenny Erickson getting a good run there. 3 wide further back, and it's going to benefit the 3 car as Hill went off of the backstretch and into the dirt. The 44 Rivas might have gone into the infield dirt down the backstretch.
Yeah, Hill was just trying to help us do a little landscaping off the back of it as Jesse Jensen is going to think about 3 wide. Erickson in that outside lane, Thornborough to the inside. Watch and see how it shakes here, but it's going to be Erickson with the advantage on Thornborough. Does he come downstairs to get the door closed? He does. Now lane open for Jensen, and Jensen putting it on full sail to try to drive away. A look off the GoPro facing away. Thanks, Brandy, on the shot. And a look as he drives away from Erickson and into position 2 already for Jensen.
Jesse on the warpath in the number 3. The Tire Pros machine looking high on the 96 of Hill.
Ooh,
side by side and sideways for both those drivers.
Front end on the 3 car started coming around a little bit early. Jesse did a good job catching up to the race car and still making what looks like a very competitive lap, to the point he is starting to loop around the outside of Hill going into turn number 1, but the 3 car just a little twitchier than normal, I would say, in position 2.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out as it looks like the 3 makes his way by. You could attribute some of that just loose condition to being up on a groove he's not used to running or not as comfortable in. But here we see the battle for second. Kenny Erickson trying to follow Jesse around the 96 of Hill. He's going to come under fire from the 85 of Fody in the process.
Look at all the years of racing you had there, battling for third for just a second between Erickson and Fody. And the 2 of them going to run up on Megan Hill in the 96. And they're going to split the difference, making a Tyler Hill sandwich. Although Erickson cannot keep up the speed in the outside lane. So he'll fade back. That gives Hill position 3, but Fody, strong move to the inside. He's got second.
Well-placed move, well-timed. See the 22 continuing to fight for a podium spot. Now under pressure from the 14 of Jones as well, but the 69 of Camp and the 06 of Potasic coming quick.
Jones, after the Friday night portion of the Summer Showdown weekend, had to completely rebuild that race car. Here he is thrashing hard to the inside. He's got the move on Hill. Will come right across the nose, and he'll take the position and bring Hill's teammate and car owner Austin Camp in with him as Erickson got it off the back end.
Great save.
Yeah, saw the steering wheel and hung on to her. As now Steve Potasic getting involved. Here's Potasic in the 06. Looking for room. Look out. Hill takes a shot to the left front. Fishtails and around in turn number 2. Caution flag comes.
Yellow out for the 96 of Hill, and the contact as well involving the 22 of Erickson. Got a replay here riding along with Hill. And it just looks like the car steps out going into 1. Contact there. And as you mentioned, the fishtail spins it around.
So Hill, one more look at the wreck from the up top camera, and you can see in the corner started coming around on him early. Erickson, just that little tap to get him straightened back out, and Hill, facing the wrong way, will go to the back of this pack. Jesse Jensen's taking the lead, but lots of racing between second, third, and fourth, and I think we're in for a good one moving forward.
That we should be, as it is Jensen and Fody, Jones and Camp. Your first 2 rows, then it is Potasic and Erickson moving their way through turn number 4, looking to the flag stand. Green is out.
9 laps in, 21 to go as Jensen shoots and rolls forward. Fody to his comfortable inside position. You don't see Jim venture to the outside all that much, so comfortable around the bottom. That's where the 85 car will park for the time being.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Well, it's been successful for him for many decades here around Evergreen Speedway. Chase Jones has got third, and Jones facing down Potasic. He's trying to dart underneath him, but Potasic trying to battle off Austin Camp in the outside groove.
Yeah, it's a 2-front war for the driver of the 06. The Neon Machine still trying to find a way past Chase Jones, who run him very well. The rookie in the number 14. As, whoa, Fagerly gets loose there down the backstretch, keeps it underneath him.
It's a beautiful save by Blaine Fagerly there as they work down the front straightaway. Potasic virtually putting some neon yellow and orange paint on the back bumper of the Jones car. He'll step out to the middle groove, go high down the back straightaway, and look for opportunity in turn number 3. Potasic rolls the nose up to the door, and now goes door to door with Jones down the front straightaway. Good battle for third between the 14 and the 06.
Seems to be making gains in the apex of the corner, but mostly here on the run off of it. Down the backstretch and front stretch, you see him poke ahead in front of the 14 to Jones just by a nose. When they come off of 4, he will complete that pass, clear him, and go up into third.
So your race leader, Jesse Jensen, second, Jim Fode, new third place, Steve Potasic, as we're coming into halfway. 15 down, 15 to go here in the Tire Pros Street Stock. Our program brought to you by Gene Johnson, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical. Can't say it big enough thanks to Gene Johnson. They have been huge for us all year long here on Home Track Heroes. It's the name you can trust since 1976 for quality service and peace of mind. Visit them today at GeneJohnsonServices.com. As they say, we're on it.
Battle here for second right now between Fode and Potasic. Potasic washing up the track there through the apex of the corner. Fode keeping it grounded to his favorite low line. Continuing to hold off the 06 machine off of turn number 4. 13 to go as they're still chasing Jesse Jensen.
So we know that Fode is an open motor in that car. We know that he is not one of the crate drivers here in the division, and you can see that horsepower when he gets that launch off the bottom of 4 specifically, and sometimes off the bottom of 2. Very few guys out-motor Jim Fode. He's as fast down the straightaways as anybody, but Potasic really cornering well to keep up that momentum as we're going to see a caution flag.
That looked to be the 72 of Thornborough around in 3 and 4.
Told the 27 of Helm might be involved with this as well. So there's Helm's car. And yep, Helm, as he was gathering it back together, touches the rear corner panel of Thornborough to draw that caution. So he just eclipsed halfway. Jensen has been dominant out front, but again, this brings the pack to him, including Steve Potasic, who is now cleared and is going to be starting right in behind Jesse Jensen, and that has been the race in this division all year, the 3 versus the 06.
That it has been. Your top 3 in points make up the first 3 of the inside row. Jensen, Potasic, and Camp on the inside. Fode, Jones, Fagerly on the high. Green back out, and look at the jump for Fode.
Yeah, there's the acceleration out of Fode once again. However, it's all for naught. A couple of cars going to go hang out on the 5/8 for a second. Chase Jones had a good run going, but he checks out the grass, and Fagerly in the 03 went out there with him. Let's get another look from our great camera crew once again.
Right along with Jesse Jensen looking back at it. Oh, yep, that. I don't have words for that one.
It's weird. You never stuttered before. As they get into the corner, as they roll in and through, and I'll call a spade a spade. There's contact here. Now, watching me in the corner, the question is, was Jones going first? And I think that's a very clear no. So, oopses happen, and the 03 and the 14 will both go to the back if they choose to continue or can continue. And if not, well, they can, I don't know, share a hot dog flavored water in the pit area or whatever makes them happy. As we get ready to go back to green flag action.
You are obsessed with that hot dog water.
At the same time, it's making me happy. Jensen low, Fode high. Fode actually had the jump on him on the last restart. Let's watch him again this time. Drastically better for Jesse, as he'll lead the crew into the corner, and Potasic gets into the turn, starts leaning on Jim through the apex of 1 and 2.
He's got that low lane that's worked out so well in this race, pushing Fode out of the preferred, and a little bit of contact there between Camp and Fode, stacking up the field further back. As a result of it, that's your battle for the third place spot right now between Austin Camp in the 69 and Jim Fode in the 85.
Like we were talking about, Jim really does like the bottom side of this racetrack, and he was doing everything he could to get down there. It was a tight fit down there. Hard to say whether he was actually all the way clear or not, but made the move. Both cars drove away from it, and I think that's going to be the key at this point in time. As you're watching Andrew Rivas, the new owner of the car that formerly belonged to Mike Marthaler, starting to get his legs underneath him, and he's moved his way up and threatening a top 5 run here.
Lots of sparks coming off of that one. It might be just bottoming it out.
Rivas might be one of the world's tallest street stock drivers. I believe he stands at 6'4" is what he had told me. So he is cramming a big frame into that race car now. Height, not necessarily weight. He's not a twig of a guy, but he's not a gigantic guy either. Regardless, I don't think he weighs significantly more than Marthaler did, so there should be no actual reason for the bottom out just based on the new drivers. We got a caution in the front straightaway, and race cars facing all kinds of directions.
Both of the tires on the left side of Jerry Helm are down. Saw sparks flying as he slid across the start-finish line. We ride along with Tyler Hill to see what happened. I'm not sure that gives us a much better explanation. Hill getting into the back of Thornborough afterwards.
Yeah, Hill just...
Here's the speed shot.
Yeah, Hill was opting not to go any further or risk the car because he came to a relatively slow stop there, just wrinkling the nose a bit. So there's from the speed shot on the opposite side of the checkered flag, or the start-finish line. And his helm just kind of coming down.
And then blowing both left side tires, I suppose.
It can't happen. Looks like we'll get one more, and oh no. The 3-car of Jensen, as we go to fire it back up, he had stopped the car and was unable to get it fired back up again.
That's a game changer. Puts the ball very much in Steve Potasik's court.
So I've got some connections on the Jensen crew, and I'll see if I can get word as to what might have gone down here. It is Potasik. You're now on the inside in the 06. Fody on the outside in the 85 as we come back to green. Camp versus Ericsson for the third and final spot on the podium, at least for now, as they're scattering all of the winds coming into the corner.
Fagerly was up into the wall down the front stretch. You saw the little bit of smoke fly as he made contact. Rivas there on the low side tags the 03, and Fagerly just saves it. Rivas slow. That's going to form a giant gap from 4th to 5th. As Kenny Ericsson running right there in that 4th place spot with a huge gap back to 5th place, Andrew Rivas.
Jones, despite having tire smileys from half the field down that race car here on the afternoon, still rolling as well, as here's Ericsson working over the back end of Camp in the 69 car, touches the right rear corner panel, now looks to the inside as Ericsson speeding up here in the late stages, this time by 6 to go for Steve Potasik. Word coming from the Jensen crew, problems in the electrical system, something in the wiring went bad and just jumped up at a bad time for him to knock him out of this one. So
that is a tough break for the driver of the 3.
So it is Potasik with now coming to 5 to go. 42 at the best battle on the track for 3rd between Camp and the 69 and the 22 of Ericsson.
Potasik, Fody, and Camp, your top 3, as you mentioned, with Ericsson there. You see just at the edge of your screen, when we're focused on that 22, Fagerly has reined in 3rd and 4th. Might be able to, just might, should it keep like this, contend. As there was some smoke when he was coming down the front stretch.
Should mention that the last time we saw street stocks a couple of weeks ago here on Home Track Heroes, that was the Pro Late model version of the Summer Shootout, and the victor on that night was not the car that crossed in first place. First was actually Austin Camp after mechanical inspections were complete. So Camp was your most recent feature winner, rolling around in 3rd at the moment, trying to run down Fody, who's got a couple of laps, and we'll see if the wily veteran is got a rabbit in the hat somewhere, because he's close enough to Potasik to make something happen here coming to the final lap.
Oh, but he's off into the dirt down the backstretch, and that might be it.
That's where the rabbits live, though.
That is where the rabbits live, but I'm afraid they're not going to be too much help as the white flag flies for Steve Potasik.
All right, Potasik, nice, smooth through 1 and 2, back straight away for the final time. Down around the bottom, and he will hold 85 of Fody off to take the W here tonight on Home Track Heroes. 2nd to Fody, 3rd to Camp, and more Home Track Heroes coming up after this timeout here on Seattle 11.
Austin, tell us who you have here.
Oh man, this is a whole bunch of drivers from WQMA Quarter Midget Club. My daughter Adriana and my spotter. This is Kane Bishop, Ryan Cannon, and he's new. I forgot his name. Oakley. Thank you.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Shout out to your sponsors here tonight.
Oh man, Blue Collar LLC, Ava Cannon Real Estate, a couple of local businesses, family businesses. Great group of people, and happy to support their brand out here.
Awesome. Give it up for third place in the Street Stock Mains, 69 Austin Camp. Gentleman Jim, where are you racing out of? Where's home?
Edmonds, Washington.
Edmonds, Washington, next to the ferry. You gotta love Edmonds.
I live in the welfare part.
Oh, what was that?
I live in the welfare part of Edmonds, not out in the bowl.
Okay, not in the bowl, not in the bowl. Okay. Tell us about your amazing sponsors.
Oh gosh, who is it? I can't even think right now. Mark and Tara with Ridgemark. He's been awesome. Bought my tires this year for me. Vista, what is it? Vista Supreme is my pit guy and his wife. They come out. She's been helping too, and it's been awesome. I would have quit about 5 years ago, but this guy came on board and he's been doing all the work for me. It's just been fun.
It was wild coming through turn one after a few of those restarts, right?
Oh, it wasn't bad.
Wasn't too bad?
No. We still got air in the tires. That's all that matters.
There it is. Second place, number 85, Jim Fody. And the winner on Granite Construction Night for the NASCAR Street Stocks Main, brought to you by Tire Pros, number 6, Steve Potasic. Oh yeah, I deserve that. That was good. Steve, big win out there. You were stuck in second and third there for a while.
Yeah, I just had to be patient. I mean, it would do no good to bang into stuff and mess up your toe, and you end up where you end up, and I end up finding all the right holes. I made it to the front. It sucks Jesse broke. I was looking forward to hanging out on the outside and gave it all I got.
Where are you racing out of? Where's home?
Bothell, Washington.
In Bothell. All right, give it up for Bothell, top of Lake Washington. Hey, let's give some shout outs to your sponsors here tonight.
I just want to thank Connor, Kevin, my dad, my mom for bringing food. Without them, this wouldn't happen.
Give it up for your winner for the Street Stock Main, Steve Potasic.
Okay, so that was cool. Our own Derek Hobbs making a cameo appearance in Victory Lane, making sure that Steve Potasic was properly moistened for his interview. That was great. Let's move forward. It is Granite Construction Night. The Granite Super Sprint's on track. Kyle Secord out of Camano Island, the Bean and Brew on 532, number 19K. Next to him, Chloe Hudson, Post Falls, Idaho driver. The 8H is sponsored by Speedmart.
Middendorf Motorsports aboard the number 4, Snohomish native of Greg Middendorf, alongside the Austin Electric 15 to Jacob Austin out of Arlington.
Row number 3, it's the veteran Todd Coleman, the Todd-Co 44 from Linwood, sponsored by Fleet Service. Outside of him, Tony Offit, the 8A from Portland, Oregon, Upland Excavating, the sponsor, and Marty Rossler out of Burien, car number 79. Let's roll 30 times around. They're going to go lickety-split, so don't blink, folks. You will miss it. We're green here for the Granite Super Sprint A main event.
Look at them already fanning out. Immediately, Middendorf to the lead, Coleman following. And then you see Jacob Austin contending there with Secord for the third place spot.
Now, this is a position that we have seen the 4 of Middendorf roll in a number of times. He's a very good front runner out in front of this field, and we talk every time that you see the Granite Super Sprint cars out on the racetrack, the value of not being in behind somebody else. Clean air makes a huge difference. You're not going to see these drivers follow each other much. It's going to be one of those almost like catching a fish. Reel them in, reel them in, reel them in, and then one big move to get the fish up in the boat or to get around the driver in front of you at the very end, because off the back of those big old top wings, there's lots of turbulent air that gets kicked up and around the racetrack, and it makes your sprint car very hard to handle.
The 8A of Offit is pulled off, but we still maintain the other 6. As our battle up front is Middendorf and Coleman. We've already ticked 4 laps off this quickly. You mentioned it going lickety-split. They are just flying around this track.
They are the fastest cars you will see at Evergreen Speedway over the course of the year, and this is a preview for our War of the Wings show coming up on next week's edition of Home Track Heroes, where we up the stakes and up the dollar value as well as the main event. We'll tell you about that coming up in just a little bit, as it is Middendorf. Coleman, a feature winner on the year, trying to hunt him down about, I'm going to say 4 car lengths back. They're from Middendorf at the moment. See if Todd can figure out the combination to close. But then you got to find the line to get around him, and if Middendorf doesn't move, that means Coleman's either going to have to shoot the gap on the inside or loop around the outside at the right given opportunity.
Austin's hopped up into the 3rd place spot. Secord running 4th. Hudson in 5th at the moment.
Take a look from the in-car camera of Coleman, and you're going to see how fast this straightaway goes. Yeah, straightaway starts there, and you're already cornering before you could literally get halfway into reciting the alphabet.
Yeah, they are just flying around this racetrack. You can't state that enough. These things are so quick. Back when they used to run the 5/8s, their fastest time on that big track comparable to the fastest late model time on our 3/8 oval.
They are that quick. I remember years ago when we had the King of the West 410s here in attendance. We put them on the 5/8s. We had the late models there the same day, and you know, no disrespect to the late models, we know how fast and how awesome those cars are, but then you had the sprint cars on the track at the same time, and you went, ooh, that's quick. So on the left-hand side of your screen, I believe you've got a battle between Secord and Hudson going on, and this is for second. Here's Jake Austin. Austin to the outside of Coleman. As those two will battle, you've got the in-car from Coleman. Austin, good job, drives around the outside of him and into position 2. So Austin strong tonight, good enough to drive around Todd. And now we're coming into traffic. Here's Middendorf, threads the needle up and around Hudson and trying to work further forward on the field.
Austin makes it work there, trying to build a foundation from which to grab at Middendorf's lead. Still chasing down the number 4. Look how much the 15 is closed.
That's Rossler that they just got past, who's starting to figure out the combination on the 79 car as they go on. So Middendorf and Austin down the back straightaway, now clear of the slower traffic for the time being. And Austin closing speed is wicked right now. Recent feature winner with the Washington Midget Racing Association for Carl Peter. Jake Austin, confidence is high right now. Let's see how he does in the sprint car, hunting for his first Granite Super Sprints win. He's on the rear tail tank of Middendorf, entering turn number 1. You can see him duck out of line. It's an outside-in move, shoots the gap down low, but Middendorf there to make the block.
See immediately how much that car slows up once it falls in line behind the 4. Like you were talking about, that much wind just hitting the top immediately. They're continuing to cut through the air. Look at Austin trying to find a way on through.
Austin rolling in and through the middle. Can he get up and around the outside? He can't. He's going to make a move to the inside. No dice that time by, as Middendorf says, not so fast, my friend, coming through turn number 2.
Yeah, Middendorf going to start to pull away once again, trying to build a lead, get further and further away from the driver, the number 15. But Austin not letting him, continuing to keep the tether.
We're going to be down to 10 laps to go the next time they cross the start-finish line, as they've looped in and underneath Secord once again. Here's your leader, Greg Middendorf. Jake Austin looking for the combination to get by him. Self-owned operation, self-funded for both of these guys. Trying to push their way into victory lane at Evergreen Speedway. Austin down low again, into 1. Blows past going into the corner and gets on by Austin into the lead.
New race leader Jacob Austin in the number 15, the 4, Middendorf running. They're in second now.
So down the front straightaway as Austin has taken the lead here in the Granite Super Sprints. And of course, a big thank you to Granite Construction, the proud sponsor of our Super Sprint Car Series, celebrating over 100 years in business. Granite Construction, an award-winning company, a great place to work. Find your dream job today at graniteconstruction.com.
Austin here is going to have 6 to go, and he makes it back to the line. 24 down with Middendorf. Running in second, Secord in third.
Would you say he's constructing a great win?
I would.
Nice, well done. Our program today brought to you by Gene Johnson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Jake Austin, in for his first win in the class, working to the inside and coming up on Hudson to try to get by. One last piece of business to really deal with here, and he will make the pass to get on past. So down to 4 to go, and slower traffic at a minimum, a long ways to go. This looks like clear sailing for Jake Austin. Victory lane just a little ways away from him if he can hold her together.
Yeah, just 3 more laps. Just over a mile left of racing here on the 3/8 oval. Middendorf going to try and chase him down, but Austin, your race leader's got quite the gap. It'll take something special if Middendorf wants to make a move.
So Middendorf is a straightaway back at this point in time. That's how good Austin has been. Jake Austin is coming into the white flag. What a cool win this would be for him, his girlfriend Bree, the whole family who helps him out. The Austin Electric, number 15, sees the white flag one more time around. Back straight away for the final time. And it is always cool crowning first-time winners. We get to do that tonight here on Home Track Heroes. The victory to Jake Austin. He'll take the W. Second goes to Middendorf. And give third to Secord. Congratulations to them. They get tuned up for War of the Wings coming up to run for the big money next week. Let's get the winners' thoughts on the podium right now.
Kyle, where are you racing out of these days? Where's home?
Well, this is the first time I've had the car out in a year, so where's home is Camano Island.
Camano Island, there it is. Give some shout outs to your sponsors here tonight.
Bering Sea Fisheries, Bean and Brew Coffee Shop in Stanwood. It's Bean and Brew on 532 is the real name. K&B Excavating, Buffalo Enterprises, and I think that's about it.
Give it up for Kyle Secord, third place tonight in Super Sprints. Teamwork makes the dream work out here. So where, especially for all these drivers, including Brad, where are you racing out of? Where's home?
I live in Snohomish.
He lives in Snohomish. What? Give some love to some of your sponsors out here today.
Well, my family is my sponsor, so and a little fleet service action. So yeah, we got to take care of those guys.
Got to take care of it. So talk about that speed out there. You can't really recreate it. That's why you got the wings on the cars the way they do. How did the race feel tonight for you with a limited field? Seven cars out there.
The car was actually working pretty well tonight, so it kind of makes it fun when it works well. So yeah, it worked out really well. So
give it up for second place, Brad Middendorf. Jacob Austin, tell me about that pass in turn 1.
I just had to commit, really. We were down a cylinder, and I kind of said, we're here, might as well just try to finish it out.
Yeah, there it is. Where are you racing out of? Where's home?
Arlington, Washington.
Arlington, Washington, up north. What about sponsor love you want to give out?
I got to thank my dad, Austin Electric, Snow King Tools, Playa Bonita. I got to thank my fucking crew, I got to thank my crew chief and my crew for busting butt all week trying to get this car to go.
And busting ass?
Yep, that's what I meant.
Yep, okay. Talk about the race in general. Only 7 cars out tonight. You said you were down a cylinder. Was that a concern early that if you didn't make that move, then, might as well not just dig in, just let it go?
I mean, I felt it on lap 2, and it's just kind of like, temp's good, oil pressure's good, we're here, it's already cacked, so might as well just run it.
All right, give it up for the champion tonight. He said his team works great. Give it up for number 15, Jacob Austin.
Super cool for Jake, and again, love crowning first-time winners here on Home Track Heroes. Well, DT, it was a preview for next weekend's $15,000 War of the Wings program coming up here on Home Track Heroes. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, that it will. War of the Wings, sure to be a great show, as you mentioned, for $15,000. 3 different open wheel classes making the journey here.
That's right. Focus Midgets will be on hand. The Can-Am Sprints will be on hand. We'll also have a little figure 8 action. Stinger 8s are coming up, and the Legends will be on the card as well. Next time you guys can come out live to Evergreen Speedway is going to be Saturday, August 17th. Twin 50s for the Pro Late Models that night. We're also going to have street stocks. We're going to have Legends, mini stocks, and super stock figure eights as well. For Derek Todoroff, Griff, and Derek on the production, big thanks to those guys and our awesome camera crew. My name is Caleb Hart. We will see you next Sunday night here on Seattle 11 for Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.